Class Dojo, they had their classroom so that they would be uploading activities. They would even YouTube reading a story, things like that. But I don't know. I don't know what the plan is long term.
Okay, yeah. I have a colleague in Texas, and they wanted to use the Lions Quest program for the little kids. And I told her, I was like, I don't know how that's gonna work, you know.
Right.
Just even with, you know, with the kids' attention span and, you know,
Right.
Other issues around confidentiality and
Absolutely.
and just even thinking about, do you know, little kids are already getting too much screen time.
Exactly.
And you know, how does that play out in the long term?
How does that work out? Because even they sent us, I guess ISB sent out like remote learning, you know, some new remote learning, you know, techniques and things that should happen. And once they sent that out, it kind of, you know, because the teachers were in teach mode. They were in, this is what we do in our classroom. This is the routine, you know, this, that, another. But I think they only are looking for like 20 minutes a day or 60 minutes a day or something. It's not a long, it's not a long
just
time.
Time to touch bases.
Yeah. Just time, yeah, but it's just it's still kind of chaotic because, like I said, most of our children are the families. They have siblings, and that's what makes it kind of a challenge. And then even in talking to the state, like we were trying to see if maybe some of the funds that were appropriated in the grant that were for like materials and supplies and things like that, could we move money to the parent educator line item and purchase laptops or iPads or something for those families that have no resources. But they said no.
Yeah.
So, and it makes sense, understandable, but then in the education thing, we're really not supposed to give those children dittos and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess there's, you know, that we've made some allotments so that things can be changed. But yeah, this is a technological society now, and we just got to get on board and do the best that we can with making sure that all the families get the resources and stuff that they need.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So we got a little bit started. I hadn't seen Nakia in a while, so it's good to kind of see everybody. And Gia, good morning, everyone. We still have people that are dialing in. I don't know if you guys were kind of following the controversy around Zoom, but they had some issues. And so they've created these security features that are default now. And what it is that they are automatically requiring that when people log onto a call, that they are morphed into like a waiting room. So I literally have to press the button to admit them. So we've got folks that are still dialing in. So if we can just give them a couple of minutes, just so we can try to get started with everybody. But I am happy to see so many people logging on today. It's good to see the people are still out and about and still working towards providing services, and that everybody is safe and well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Kristen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. As to be expected.
I need to call you because I received some good news.
Okay, well, call me after the meeting, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Erica.
Hey, Erica.
Hi, Erica.
Hey.
Yeah. So we can actually.
Erica, my Facebook buddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Erica. Welcome.
Hi, Christian.
So we'll kind of get started in just 1 minute here. And I don't know if everybody's able to kind of see. I'm going to share my screen just to kind of keep us on task this morning. So I do want to just go ahead and welcome everybody. This is the LAN 53 meeting. We serve Bloom, Bremen, Rich, and Thornton Townships. And so for the past, since the beginning of the year, we've been doing our meetings online, just really as a way to reduce participation. You know, we had some previous discussions about meeting times and things of that nature. So hopefully this is a way that more people can participate. So I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. I want to thank everybody that has been responding to the different emails and those things. So welcome everyone. We have been running an agenda from 10 to noon. With the last meeting, we really kind of talked a lot about how everybody's organization was impacted by COVID-19. You know, about a month ago is when we started with our shelter in place. And so hopefully we can continue that same discussion. And what we're going to do is have space for agency updates. Our intern, Megan Marth from University of Chicago, she has been able to sit in on the calls with us. She's not going to be with us today because she has a class at the same time, but she will, I will send her the recording of this meeting and she will transcribe those so that everybody can have a set of minutes. We have been putting those minutes into a digital drive, as well as collecting your information around training and resources and things like that, and adding them to a monthly digest that we try to get out in advance of a meeting, and as well as a Google Calendar, so that if you are subscribed to the Google Calendar, then we try to stack that with like training events and your events, which of course in this environment, we're seeing a lot of online trainings and things of that nature. So we would want to make sure that you guys have that as a resource for you from the LAN. So when we do the agency updates, and we'll kind of house that into introductions, if you could please let us know if your agency has done any modifications to your hours of operation. If you could let us know if any upcoming events have been canceled, and kind of give us an idea of what has been the service impact in this new normal to the clients and to the staff, as well as if you guys are offering any additional services. So I would like to just kind of start and allow you guys to introduce yourselves, and at the same time, if you have an agency update, to share that as well.
Are you gonna call us by name?
Yeah, let me call you by name. We'll start with Miss Cannon.
Is that because I asked the question?
And you know what? I have a different screen up, but no, you just happen to be first on the list.
Oh yeah, probably because I logged in. That's fine. Logged in first. That's fine. Nakia Cannon, parent coordinator for the early childhood program at Harriet Tubman School of Dalton Riverdale School District 148. So clearly we are closed. That came from the governor, and now, you know, federal, we are closed. We have done our best with providing nutrition because the preferred meals is they still provide breakfast and grab and go breakfast and lunch. But that's it. After the first week of us distributing e-learning packets to the preschoolers, that was kind of our last face-to-face. If the parent was there when you took the packet. Now we've just been uploading and providing the families with the e-learning resources. Teachers are online with virtual classrooms, doing some things. I think the district is working on something a little more permanent now that spring break ends tomorrow, going back Monday. I don't think anybody is physically going back to the buildings, but they are working together to still provide some education and supports to families. I know some social workers have been doing some of their, working with some of their clients via FaceTime or these capabilities. A lot of the concern is confidentiality. I have parents that, have little ones that are getting occupational therapy and physical therapy and speech therapy, and it makes it very hard, especially if the parent, the therapist is trying to give the parent the tools, but it's hard if that's not your forte, if that's not what you do.
Yeah.
So I know special services, they've had meetings and are having meetings to see how we can best service those children. My families that are just in crises, like they, have had to go to shelters or domestic violence situations, or just in the things that are hitting very close to home and making it extremely hard for families now. I've just been trying to connect them to the resources that I know are still available, and we have to pray. Because you said some stuff, it is alternate hours of operation and things like that, but some things are just they're not happening. So my families are now, the major things are the homelessness, and then those that are seeking medical attention or that need medical attention and just can't get to the doctor.
Okay. So Nakia, are you able, if we could provide some direct support to those families, would you be able to sort of work with that, maybe do a rap form? I mean, I don't know if we can resolve any homelessness issues, but definitely we've got a small budget to provide some assistance, some direct support to the families. Hello?
She just got kicked out.
Oh, okay. Well, she's going to have to ring the bell to get back in. So I'll pick that back up. Now, I have someone on here. Jackie, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and give the agency update?
Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jackie Smith. I am the resource and chairperson for Family to Family. Also, I am a parent advisor in different school districts. So far as updates, I just got a new email of some resources for people that is giving out groceries and stuff like that. I actually just got the email just now, and I just called about it right before we got on about NICOR gas. So if anyone has a NICOR bill, they can call NICOR and ask them about care packages, and they had connected with Target, so they deliver groceries and household items. You just got to give your account number. So far as updates, of course, we all know the schools is closed and our children is doing e-learning. If you don't have a computer, I do know schools is giving out Chromebooks. You just got to sign a waiver for them to get Chromebooks. Also, you can call Comcast for Internet Essentials. You should be able to get 2 months free. It's a real easy setup. They send you the equipment outside of that, far as high school district 205, I do know some of those students has been having problems with their emails. So if they can just reach out to their teachers to find out if it's another option. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome. Let's see. Welcome back, Miss Cannon. Welcome back, Nakia. Hello. Reset. Uh-oh. Okay, so then we'll go to Erica.
Hi, everybody. Erica Lipsy. I have a daycare home. Right now, I'm not working. Kids are doing the e-learning stuff. One of my kids haven't got their computer yet because we only have one computer in the house. So that's about it. I've just been in the house.
Thank you, Erica.
Nothing going on. All right.
I'm glad you joined us today. Gia?
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm Gia Washington, the Community Development Manager, Sertoma. So right now we are trying to provide services to our consumers virtually. We have some with our community support team that need to be seen face to face, and so we're doing once a week visits to them. We're collecting donations to be able to provide the consumers who need help with food so that they can get that. And then from our training department, we are providing virtual trainings now. So we're doing our suicide prevention training, and pretty soon we'll be doing our mental health first aid. So just sort of switching what we're doing. And then also we're working on launching a podcast.
Launching a what?
Podcast.
Oh, okay, okay. And
I'll
so,
talk about mental health.
Oh, I like that. And so I have asked Gia to consider hosting the online suicide prevention workshop in the month of May for LAN, as well as some of the other folks that I work with across some of these other agencies as well. So please be on the lookout for that. That is definitely a resource that anybody can take advantage of, but it's also a good thing to be able to share with your own networks as well. So thank you, Gia. I'm looking forward to that collaboration.
Looking forward as well.
Yeah. Peter. Welcome, Peter. Peter. Let's see. Are you on mute, Peter? Okay, well, we will go to Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
You talking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. This is Kimberly Lacey Chappelle with Hartgrove Behavioral Health. Really no new updates. We are a hospital, so that's what we do 24/7. As I stated in the last meeting, we just take the extra precautions. We have the tent up so everyone is screened, temperature checks, and can't enter the hospital. Even if they're coming and transferring from another hospital or another entity, or EMS is bringing them in, we are checking even the face masks, and we probably will give them a new one because we're, like I said, we're taking all precautions. We did put out a 4-page article calling Balancing the Juggling Game, Building Your Resilience During This Time. So it was sent out to a lot of providers, a lot of agencies, hospitals, law enforcement. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from it. And it's just about juggling your multiple roles at once, dealing with this new norm that causes the stress, confusion, and fear. And so we had tips on handling your stress by practicing the self-care and eating healthy, and getting the adequate amount of sleep, avoiding the alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, because that will turn into a coping mechanism and may turn into something even worse than that. So moving your body and stretching, and that to keep your energy level up. And so there's a lot in the article about the breathing and picking your battles and making time for the fun activities as well, having that consistent time, that normal, still keeping that normal schedule, the normal wake up time, giving yourself breaks, having that positive space and making time for self-care. So we that out, and like I said, we've had a lot of good feedback on it. We've had questions about webinars and stuff like that. We're looking to see we're trying to figure out how that would look, because we had a monthly coffee and conversation CEU series, which of course we had to cancel in the midst of this pandemic. But we're looking to see if we could do something in terms of a webinar. I think the powers that be are nervous about Zoom, but I told them that with Zoom, you know, you can kind of control who you have coming in. You do a registration. I know I registered for some Zoom webinars, and they asked me a series of questions, and then I'm approved to be a part of it. So if that does happen, I will definitely let you know, Kim, about that.
Yeah.
I do know that I think it was something sent out by CETA, who was trying to get a feel of what's going on in the Southland area. I'm not sure if everybody received it, but it was about, I think they're trying to figure out how they can best support Southland organizations.
Mm-hmm.
They've been gathering information about service needs and gaps around urban Cook County. I did hear about that survey, and then also just to also impress upon everybody about the census.
Mm-hmm.
There is a census, there's a Southland census email or website, because the state has slipped and we're doing worse than we did in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
It's Southland Census, all one word.com. I just found. But they're trying to encourage everyone to do the census. It's been extended. And then also one more thing, if Google Psych Hub, psychhub.com, it has wonderful mental health resources. Our company, our parent company that owns us, just became part of Psych Hub. And if you go to psychhub.com, they have videos relevant to mental health issues during this COVID-19, wellness tips, resources from partners like NAMI, and telemental health, the basics and around that. So psychhub.com, I highly recommend, and wonderful resources on that website. That's about it for me.
Okay, thank you, Kim. And also I wanted to ask, if in the development of you guys, as you guys are developing the online resources, and I'm wondering if your group would be opening to maybe if you all will be open to presenting for another group, if we just invited you as a guest speaker, and that way you wouldn't have to really worry about Zoom. You'd be coming in on somebody else's meeting.
That's fine. I have done that before. Some community groups in the city who are having conference calls, they invited me to speak about COVID and stress Monday night on calls. And someone had gotten that article and they wanted me to kind of expand on it. And it was a quick thing. I talked maybe 15 minutes, and it was a lot of information sharing. I appreciated being on that. So for me personally, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking to figure out what we're going to do. We know we've been approached by, I've been approached by a few pastors who are asking for guidance on how to work with their congregations regarding their stress.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Sort of the same conversation I had with Gia in terms of some of the online projects that we're doing is, setting up like symposiums and workshop series. So we can definitely talk about that, offline. I'd love to bring you in on something like that.
Okay, Kimberly, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have, let's see, I'm going down the list. We have Jessica. Welcome, Jessica. We are just introducing ourselves and kind of giving an agency update for the agencies we represent, and just kind of letting everybody know what modifications or what adaptations the agency might be making in response to the pandemic. Any changes in operations or changes in services.
Hi, I work with Catholic Charities in the Senior Service Department. We are conducting our assessments via phone for seniors who need homemaker services, Meals on Wheels, and things like that. So the homemakers are still coming to the homes, but we are just doing the assessments via phone.
Okay. So thank you. Then we've got Shanta. Welcome, Shanta. I've got you on two names.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having a problem with my laptop, so I'm trying to. I just jumped on my cell. I apologize for that.
Oh no, you're fine. What have you?
Oh, I'm well. Thank you so much. So CETA has a lot of some modifications. So one is thank you so much for bringing up the survey. Yes, we have a survey to just make sure we understand. It's not just Southland, it's all of Cook County. We're trying to get a sense of all the services offered in Cook County. Because CETA is the community action agency for the county. So we offer some services in the city, but majority are in the suburban area. But we're just trying to get a handle on what people are offering. So we try not to duplicate services, and also to make sure that the programs we're putting out are what based on the needs people are seeing. All the results eventually will be shared. So if you responded to the survey, they will send you the results of what people said. So if you haven't had a chance to respond, please do so. They will just send you the results so that you know what people said the need was. The other thing is, so our operations are different depending on each department. So our WIC department is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're open 24 hours. We're open Monday through Friday, but we're on site, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for our WIC department. So we are processing the vouchers and giving women, infant, and children what they need to be to address the needs of their household. So what happens is that we don't have customers coming inside the building. So they call us and let us know they're out front, and we provide them with their coupons and just walk to their car and provide them to them. Or if they're walking or on the bus, we just hand them to them. They don't have to actually come inside and be impacted by put in risk. Okay. With weatherization is still processing applications. So at this time, they're not going into homes. You'll see that Light Heat is offering services. So if you click on a button, our website tells you all the services and how we're rolling them out. For my program, which is a family support and community engagement program, we have COVID-19 programs. And so what we're offering is food delivery, prescriptions, paying for the cost of prescription medications, or make sure that can be mailed to that household. We're paying for water bills, telephone bills. We are giving gift cards for cleaning supplies so people can purchase that. We are assisting with emotional counseling. So if you know someone who wants to be they're interested in counseling and therapy, we're offering that. And we're offering childcare for essential workers. So if an essential worker is interested in childcare and their application for childcare assistant is still being processed, but they need to go to work, they can reach out to us and we will assist with childcare for that. I can send you our flyer that kind of goes over all of the services. Everything is done via phone. All we're asking from the customers is that they'll be able to make sure they can at least screenshot, email us a photo ID. So we need to make sure you are who you say you are. And then that's pretty much it. Everything else is done via phone.
Okay, thank you, Shanta.
No worries.
Also, I'll double check. We have been also sending out a similar survey within just our LAN database to see what people are doing, and that you get access to that. We send out the monthly digest. So I shared with the others earlier LAN 53, as you know, has the partnership with the University of Illinois at Chicago. And a lot of you guys have met Jasmine, who worked with Ron, and we know Ron's retired and Jasmine's graduated. And we have a new intern. Her name is Megan Mark. And she is actually going to take the recording of this call and transcribe that into minutes so that everybody can have a set of minutes, which will include the information that you gave on your update. But I will ask again, we're trying to compile a list of services so that we can continuously share that out with everyone, so that as you guys are seeing your clients, that you have at least an ongoing list. So Shanta, I'll get with you offline to see how those lists pair up, because if we don't have to duplicate the effort, then, definitely you guys probably have more reach and more staff, and I can definitely share with you what I have. And
absolutely,
you can just resend me the link. I can also email it out too.
Absolutely, I'll do that right now. The other thing is to realize that we have something called the information referral line. So our information referral line is just a service where, as we find out about services that's being offered, our information referral line provides that information to customers. So if you're stuck where you have a customer, you don't know who offers the service, I would just tell you to have the customer call our information referral line. It is the job of that team to find the resources for those families. So we try to make sure, that's why we do the survey, because we do have something like an information referral line where we're trying to make sure we are aware of what services are out there so that we can address the needs of families. And so the information referral line, I can give you that. I'll send you guys a couple flyers with that flyer and the services CEDA's offering, and to you, Kim, and you can send it out to the entire group, okay?
Okay, thank you, Shanta.
Thank you.
I think that's gonna be really helpful. We have call-in user 1. Call-in user 1.
Is that me?
I have your name here, so I think that you're just Kristen. But go ahead, Kristen. Please give your update.
Hi, my name is Kristen. I'm a part of Family to Family. I am also the president of myself with CP and ADHD. My update is on Monday, this coming Monday, we are doing a Zoom training with the Lions Club at noon to 2 on Zoom. Kim could see you the information and the application to, if anyone who's on the call would want to come to this training.
Okay, thank you, Kristen.
That's all.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So I wanted to also share a couple of updates and to just support what Kristen's saying. So what Family to Family is doing is we're offering online support communities for disability self-advocates ages 16 and up. We also have several projects that are in collaboration with Lions Clubs International that are going on in Texas and New Jersey, Delaware, and Florida. So what we're doing is actually doing online virtual service learning and leadership projects with youth and parents around, supporting communication campaigns, health information dissemination, and helping to strengthen social and emotional learning skills. So it's a pilot project, and we're working with a couple of universities on fine-tuning the model. Kristen's group is going to be for disability self-advocates that are ages 16 and up. Each project is 12 weeks. They meet once a week on Zoom. There is a registration, there's no cost. We're also looking to train 25 providers that are interested in hosting these online chats with youth groups or parent groups. This is not a clinical support group, so it's not really geared toward people that are in need of qualified mental health services, but it is a way to sort of help address isolation and, help people build community and stay connected. And in addition to that, we are also in collaboration with the work that I'm doing with the LAN. We're trying to build out a training calendar where we can provide some strategic series of pre-recorded presentations and webinars and a mix of live presentations and webinars. And the audience for those would be not only the people who are in our region through the LAN, but also we have a number of contacts through Lions Clubs International, which is the largest service organization in the world. So we have a large continuum of Lions who are also impacted by the lack of ability to provide contact-based services and have become quite interested in supporting mental health activities and finding new ways to support their local communities. So I'll be kind of following up with everybody. I think that the work that we're doing here in the state, we have peers across the country, and, to just, for example, with having Gia to do the suicide prevention online workshop, that's applicable here, but that's applicable in any state. So I'll be reaching out to you all to give opportunities for that as well. Also, we've mentioned a couple of, over the last couple of meetings, that we have, Family to Family has received donations to support families in need on a case-by-case basis. So definitely, if you guys are coming into families that are on hard times, where there are not any traditional resources that they can readily access, give me a call, and we'll kind of take a little bit of information and see if we can't provide some tangible support to those families as well. Okay. So I do want to go on to the steering committee update. So the steering committee, we sent out, and it's part of my email signature, to recruit people to be part of the LAN 53 steering committee. Many of you that have been around for a while are aware that the LAN is currently not funded. Ron Wynn, who was our DCFS liaison, recently retired at the end of the year. And so he was really instrumental in advocating for DCFS to continue to support LANs as a community-based resource for not only families in care, but in the real critical effort around reducing the number of families that are that go into care. And the priority has been for a while around strengthening families. So when Megan came aboard in January, we started really looking at, what ways could we strategically start to rebuild the LAN by engaging membership, identifying members across all 4 of our townships that we cover, as well as coming up with some tangible things that the LAN could offer as a collective body, even though we don't have money now, but building it in a way that will allow us to be competitive when funding does become available. So a couple of things that we've been working on is building our capacity to really support the providers in an online format. And that includes setting up a Google Drive where You can have access to the minutes for each of the months. She's been really good about preparing the minutes from each of our meetings, as well as any subcommittees that we've had. We have created the digital LAN 53 digest, which is like a monthly newsletter. So as you all respond to our inquiries about your updates, you're able to actually send those updates in advance. And what happens is it gets formatted into like a newsletter where we give a little blurb about your services with a link to your website. So we do want to continue that, and we also want to expand it to provide space for agency spotlight, so that we can sort of rotate the agencies and give them almost like a blog space in order to promote their services throughout the LAN. We also have a complete list of all of our local elected officials, mayors, boards, elected boards, so that we can start to send this information out to them as well, so that we can start communicating beyond Thornton Township and into some of these other areas where, we have, they're in our geographical area, but right now we're not really engaging them. So the other thing is that Megan also kind of serves, not really in Ron's place, but sort of that she's kind of our connection to DCFS. And we have not received any particular guidance from DCFS regarding what they're going to do with the lands. The director does have a standing town hall meeting each Monday. I'll share that information by email with everyone. I haven't been able to attend because of a conflict in scheduling, but there still has, most of the information is really geared toward frontline providers, foster parents, and their staff. So hopefully we'll be able to get around to where we start to ask the questions about what they're going to do about the community providers. The other thing is that, as I mentioned, we've started this Google Calendar for LAN 53, so that even as you guys are having events, or, for example, if you wanted to put Shanta that the WIC office is open on Mondays, we can add that to our calendar. People can subscribe to the calendar where you will automatically receive, updates. I have my personal preferences set to where I get an update once a day that just says these are the things on the calendar, or that there's nothing on the calendar. So it's not like I'm getting constant emails as things are coming through. So the steering committee has been meeting, and one of the topics that we talked about was working with the school district, Lincoln Elementary School District on 156, to sort of start building some pilots around reinvigorating the wraparound committee, as well as reestablishing the relationships that LAN had with school districts, which was a source for referrals. Previously, we actually had a program called Family-Centered Services, where we would provide funds to an agency to work with schools around reducing truancy, suspension, and expulsion. And so schools could call to the Family-Centered Services program when they had a kid who was either, raising red flags on truancy, or were displaying some behavioral issues that were about to lead to suspension or expulsion. And we would send in a parent advocate to sort of start the initiation of the wraparound process for that family. So we have been kind of looking at that. There's also a lot of information that has been coming out through the Arc of Illinois around protecting the rights of the disabled community. They also have a COVID-19 grant out. And so we did make an application to support the disability advocacy group. and to really just that money would, it's not a lot of money, it would really just be used to expand the Zoom platform so that once we train people that they can actually have a secure Zoom account to use. And somebody mentioned earlier some of the controversy around Zoom, and I've been a Zoom user for a while. I haven't had any problems. And from what I read, those issues were more so around the free accounts, not the paid ones. So the next these are our people on the steering committee: Miss Nakia Cannon, Fatima Villasenor, and Jonathan Escort of Harvey Centennial Lions Club. And the next steering committee meeting is on April 20th. So they're always the fourth Monday, and we sort of schedule it like that because we figured once we have our regular general meeting and we sort of get all this information, then the steering committee can kind of start to think about tangible and strategic ways that we can work with the resources that you guys are sharing with us, and how can we support those, strengthen those through information dissemination, through recruiting clients, or providing an audience for some of the trainings and other services. So I would like to just say that you guys are invited to follow up and be part of the steering committee as well. So the call to action is, we're asking everybody to continue to share those resources. I mentioned I'll talk to Shanta to see if there is any overlap, because I think that if CETA has a complete database of services in our region, then that really kind of serves the purpose of what we were trying to do. And we can maybe turn our focus to really providing the monthly digest with more of an in-depth look at some of the services that are being provided in the LAN as well. Yeah.
So can I follow up with that?
Yes.
So can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Thanks. Good. So we do have the information and referral line. It covers all of the suburban Cook County. Okay. So I would tell people, as they find resources, like I think, Kim, you do a great job of getting people resources. If you come across a resource, you can definitely feel free to forward it to me. I forward it to people with our information referral line. They reach out to that agency, verify that those services are still being provided, and they take it from there. That's really the team's job.
Okay, good. No, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I would say, that's what they do. That's what they're responsible for. They have to have the follow up. They send me a report every week on the calls in my territory, so I will know everyone in the Southland area and how well they was taken care of. So it's not anything that you have to worry about. That's really what they do, and I can answer any questions or follow up with you about that later if you need anything.
Absolutely, and I think that especially for some of our folks who are still seeing school families, if you guys have any questions, I'm wondering, Shanta, so would there be a way? I mean, do you all have a searchable database, or is it only through calling the resource line?
No, it's calling a resource line. So we intentionally don't task staff with trying to remember every resource in the community. We want to make sure people are getting the most up-to-date information. And so as a program dissolves, that information referral's job is to follow up with that agency prior to sending the customer that information. So they try to build their own rapport with agencies. So, they'll shoot them an email, they'll give them a call. So the database, is not something that we utilize. I do have what they call, I do have access to it, but I would mislead you if I tell you that I check it often. I only reach out to them when my team gets stuck and they've helped me find a resource that I feel like it's necessary. Or if there's a service that no one can find, then we see that as a need to develop that program. So that's how we utilize it.
Okay. So in terms of, let's just say, I'm sorry to pick on you, Nakia, but you kind of, I'm thinking about you as I ask this question. So do you guys have any preference for referrals, or is it just give the number to the people?
Oh no, they're fine with you just giving the number to the people. I'm going to send you guys the flyer so that you can have the information referral line, and you just feel free to have people, call in. And no, that's really all they need to do. If it's in particular, for example, if someone is concerned about someone they referred to the line and they want to reach out to me, they definitely can, because I do get a report about the outcome of every call once a week.
Okay.
So it's not that, I'm not aware of what's going on. I get an Excel sheet or a tracking mechanism for them to tell me the outcome for every call in the Southland area, who had what services they referred them to. So it's a lengthy thing they do every week for me, but and if they can't find a solution, they sometimes will circle back to us and say, hey, we're struggling. Sometimes we'll reach out to some contacts I have to get clarification so that we can try to find a resource. But no, that's really the team's job to look up resources for us. That's why it's so important for us to know what services are being offered so we can properly refer people. Sometimes we have agencies saying that, we get follow-up to verify that this is how you want customers to get your information. You want this number given out. You don't want this email, because some people are email-based. Not all customers want to call. Some people want to just be able to shoot an email in the middle of the night when they're worried about something. Right. So we try to make sure we have the appropriate way the agency wants to receive information.
Okay. So I'll definitely, I would definitely like to highlight that service in the next monthly digest as well.
Yep, no worries. I'll send you information, and then I'll have my director. I think you know Carolyn Taylor.
I
figured it.
Hello.
Yes. She's the director now. That's how they got me.
Okay. I know Carolyn. Hadn't she had moved at one time?
Yeah, she moved literally downtown to the director position.
Tell her I said hello and welcome back. Good to hear that.
This is Carolyn Taylor Cruder.
Yes.
Okay, tell her, Nakia, she know me from a baby. Tell her hello.
Yes.
I'm still working.
Yes.
I'm still working.
Yes.
Good.
If you're in the Southland, there's no way you don't know Carolyn.
Yeah, boy.
She's been in this territory for a significant amount of time. So, but yeah, she's a director. So all we do is really let her know that you guys want to highlight it. She'll send out something for us to make sure you guys have a good understanding of how the services are used and accessed. And she'll take it from there. So it's not really a problem. All you do is shoot me that email and we'll forward it. I'll forward it to Carolyn and she'll send it out. It won't be a problem. They love to utilize this opportunity for people because I think people are stuck. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so I think that we want to make sure we do a better job of publicizing this line so that people can get what they need.
Yeah, and I think that it's good to have. I think everybody on here has probably run into a situation or two where you kind of feel like nothing's available, especially with everything being closed.
And what we've seen so far is that a lot of agencies are just working remotely. And so it's just how do they want people to access the service is what we've seen a lot of. And so that's why we are trying our best to reach out to all these different, I know people may think I'm stalking you, but I may be a little bit, because I just need to make sure if you're still offering services that your agency receive these referrals, and then two, that the customers can have their needs met, because I think a lot of agencies are just trying a new way to offer services, and so their general line may not be available, but there's another line. There always is another way. I think a lot of agencies are just trying to adjust to the new normal.
Yeah, and it's kind of a catch up. I don't think a lot of people were just ready to go digital, and kind of even in some of the work that we do, it's like, well, how much do we invest in this digital place, and how much of that is going to stay relevant after the fact? So it's good. I'm glad that you were able to make the call, Shanta. You always have such good information for us. And I think that was one of the things that I know in the steering committee meetings, we were really concerned about the best way to sort of gather that same information, but of course, with a lot fewer people on board. So I'm really glad to have you back, because I know you guys were really have always done a good job with the community assessment. So I'm happy to know that that's still happening.
Oh yeah.
And that.
Yeah, I think this year community needs assessment is going to be probably one of the most difficult ones to do, only because it's going to be extremely painful to really see how badly this COVID-19 impacted our community. I think we only know a little bit, really. I don't think we really grasp how devastating this is to the community we serve.
Yeah.
We only getting a glimpse of it. I think once we finish the community needs assessment this year, we're going to get a good picture of it. And then we as an agency and all of us in the field are going to have to figure out what's the best way to address the needs of the people we're seeing, and how do we help people get out of this crisis.
Yeah, I know when you were working with Ron and Jasmine last year, you guys identified transportation as a huge barrier to services. I don't know if in what you're doing now, if you're still seeing that as
Yes, we are. So, my program also does an auto repair, dental, and vision service. Dental is only an emergency base right now based on COVID-19, and vision is complicated. They're willing to do it remotely, which I think is a hard thing to do. But the auto repair portion of the program is being offered just as normal. Our auto vendors repair people's vehicles up to $1,000. And so we still do that. I think the concern we have now is, only essential workers are really supposed to be out.
Right.
It's difficult in that sense, because a lot of things can't be updated. You can't update your driver's license. You barely can get a new registration.
Right.
So it's a difficult climate in that aspect for some of our customers. So we're making adjustments. I think that if you come across somebody who needs auto repair, that's something we offer. We do have gas cars and bus cars as well. So it just depends on what the need is, because we're trying to address a barrier.
Yeah.
So if you're why do you need these things? And then we, as a program, address that need. Because I think a lot of things right now, because people not supposed to go anywhere,
right.
We're looking at home delivery. How do we deliver groceries to you? How do we get your cleaning supplies delivered to you? We're just looking at approaches on how to address that.
Do you all do anything for homelessness prevention?
So rental assistance, no. At this time, what CETA does for housing is we have a housing department, and they offer assistance for rental counseling, and they do foreclosure prevention, and they help people purchase a home. But when you're looking at rental assistance at this time, that's not something CETA is offering. We know for the county, I could tell you, if you give me a second, I can look up the amount of money that came into the county. It's quite significant. It's over, I want to say it's over 700 million that came in county-wide for us, for services to address rental assistance. So it's really, CETA is trying to decide if that's a service we need to offer, or we're going to let the Homeless Prevention Coalition does a great job with that. So I know that there's a significant amount of money that just hit the county. And so it is just finding out how they're going to address that. So I can get that information for you and send that out to you. It's just a little bit snippet of how much exactly the dollars are. But it is quite a bit of money that the Homeless Prevention Coalition and the Hub received with that. So if you give me a minute, and I'll look that up for you and kind of go over that with you. But yeah, it is quite a bit at this point. We're trying to see how they're going to address rental assistance before we started a program, to be transparent. What we're seeing is that, we're trying to see how the Homeless Prevention Coalition is going to address the need before CETA starts the service, because we want to make sure that if the need has been adequately met. I know the South's land has a significant need for rental and it's always had. So it's just seeing whether or not the funds that currently are being put in place are able to address that need, or do we need to add that service? So we are trying to gauge what the need is before we adjust.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to just go into asking if anyone wants to introduce any new business, anything that should be on the agenda for the next time we get together.
I do.
Yes.
Next Monday, the Lions Crest and my organization, we are hosting a Zoom training.
Kristen, okay, so for new business, I'm thinking about things that we should talk about every week.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. That information is going to be in a minute, so I'll send that out to everybody.
Okay, super sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So does anybody want to propose any new business? Hearing nothing, I'll say no. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cannon.
No, I just laughed when you said, okay, hearing nothing.
I learned that off of TV. Hearing nothing, I'll just say that that's a no. But I think that what we normally do is we carry our agency updates and share information from 10 to 11. And then from 11 until noon, we have set that time aside for wraparound committee work. I can tell you that I think this is one of the most robust and diverse calls that we've been able to have in a while. So I don't know if anyone has any particular wrap cases or special cases that they would like to discuss, and maybe look at how we can support a particular family that you may be working with at this time. No? Okay, guys. Well, that will, that will be the conclusion to our call today. I really appreciate everybody that logged in and joined. Hopefully, you heard some information that's going to be helpful in your day-to-day as you continue to be on the front lines and work with your families and work with your clients. And you have some additional resources to help them. We are going to have a steering committee meeting this Monday, where we will continue to talk about building the infrastructure for the land, coordinating some community outreach efforts, and looking at how we can identify opportunities for the land to apply for additional grants and resources. So that call is going to be Monday, April the 20th. It's from 9 a.m. until 10. If you are interested in being part of the steering committee, I will definitely follow up with everyone. You can go online and just do the steering committee application. And from that, you'll receive an invite to the call. So all hearts and minds are satisfied. I'm going to tell everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, stay well, wash your hands, and I'll see you next month.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Have a great
Have
day.
a good one. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Auntie Tanya, Hello.